Hey guys, SMD here, and this is the item builds for Viper. So for starting items, you want 2 shared tangos, a wraith band, a branch, and a fairy fire. Branch you can use to effectively get a 3rd tango. Wraith band will give you lots of stats to help you last hit and harass in the lane. And a fairy fire is pretty good on Viper, as you focus a lot on trading hits, so the burst HP and the extra damage coming out from that, as opposed to another branch, seems to be more beneficial on this hero. So with your bounty rune gold, you want to buy a salve. And then you want to buy an Aquila. Since you already have a Wraith Band, you can toggle it to make the opponent miss the last hits. If the opponent leaves the lane, you can pressure their tower with it. After that, you can buy a stick or a wand if you need it, or some raindrops, and then you can start to buy your brown boots after that. In general, it seems that some people like to go boots early, some people don't. Some people think, sort of like how I saw Miracle playing at TI, he would skip boots a lot of the time on lots of heroes because he just finds himself not leaving the lane that early as a core hero. In the early games, there's no point to really have boots, especially like in the mid lane if it's just like that short of a walk back to your tower and you're a really tanky hero like Viper. But also, I see a lot of people buying boots as their first real item on Viper, like before they even get an Aquila, just so they can chase down the enemy's mid hero and just slow him a lot and harass him a lot with his move speed advantage, as he doesn't really need a bottle or anything. So it's a sort of preference, but I would recommend just going, I'd say just get an Aquila first and then brown boots if you want, just to be safe, and then you can get magic sticks, magic wands, and raindrops. So for core items, you want power treads, dragon lance, then you can get a hurricane pike. Some people will just go dragon lance into BKB, which I personally don't like too much. I would recommend the hurricane pike first. Then you can buy S and Y. Some people go halberd, some people go maelstrom after that. It's pretty situational. I would recommend just going for dragon lance into hurricane pike, sometimes even 4-staff into hurricane pike if you just really want to get away from heroes and want the extra HP regen. But in general, I see the dragon lance as the first major pickup the most, so Dragonlance into BKB, into SNY or Halberd, into Maelstrom Mjolnir is what I would recommend in general for your core items. So Dragonlance gives you lots of attack range and good stats, more HP. And then a Hurricane Pike gives you HP regen, gives you more intelligence, as well as the ability to force off closer to opponents you're trying to chase down or force away from opponents that are chasing you. BKB just makes it really hard for them to focus you down with any magic spells. You won't be able to get stunlocked or anything, you'll just be able to freely attack in fights with the extra attack range coming out from Dragonlance as well. S and Y just gives you lots of stats and move speed, and Halberd gives you the same with the extra addition of evasion and the ability to make it so an enemy hero won't be able to attack. And then Maelstrom I see a lot, just since you don't really have any wave clear on Viper. The easiest ways to deal with Viper is just by split pushing him and cutting all his waves. Maelstrom will help you be able to push some waves back towards the enemy side of the map. Along with Mjolnir being on you will allow you to deal even more magical damage while you're being focused. So late game, you can buy a Mjolnir. If you already have a Maelstrom, you can upgrade it, more AoE magical damage. Radiance is also pretty similar to that, but it costs a lot of gold and has a hard build-up. But I've seen it quite a bit on Viper, as it just gives you a lot of more AoE magical damage, so you can just sort of like 5-man push around, and if they ever try to go on you, they'll just take way too much damage. That'll be really hard to kill you. But with the really expensive build-up of Radiance, it's kind of hard to buy. But you can potentially go that late game if you want. You can get items like Heart of Tarask, just to give you more health, make it even harder for them to burst you down. Assault Cuirass, more armor, more tower damage for your team. Butterfly will give you lots of good stats too, more evasion. Monkey King Bar can be good versus heroes with evasion. And I have Scotty, which will just give you more stats and more slows. So for situational items, we have Hood and Pipe, which will just give you more magic resistance, as well as the ability to give some of that magic resistance to your team. And the Barrier, which can just block some magic burst as well. You can go Shadowblade or Silver Edge if they have some passives that are really annoying, like Timbersaw or Spectre, or Shadowblade if you just want to sort of get extra mobility and move around the map. Manta Style can be a good alternative to Saint Ignatia and Halberd if you just want the Purge versus like Silences or something like that. Lincolns can also be good versus heroes like Bane or Doom. Aghanim Scepter can be good versus lots of melee heroes that you think you can easily kite with a lower cooldown on your Viper Strike. Bloodthorn can be good versus heroes that a Silence can be really strong against, as long as allowing you to crit. So Mech has a bigger mana cost than it used to when people used to buy it a lot, and Viper also scales better than he used to with the introduction of talents as well, so that's why I don't see a lot of people going mech anymore, and why I personally wouldn't recommend it either. And I wouldn't really recommend going Blade Mill either, because heroes are already going to try to be ignoring you. Using a Blade Mill will make them just completely ignore you, and it's kind of wasted in my opinion. And for item timings, as mentioned, you can go Dragonlance without Hurricane Pike, you can go like Dragonlance BKB S and Y, you can go like Dragonlance, Maelstrom, then back for Pike, and then you can go BKB. So item order depends a lot on Viper, depending on who you are, what heroes they have, what heroes you have, depending on what you need to do in the lane. So you have a lot of heroes that can clear waves, then you won't really need a Maelstrom or something like that. But in general, this is the build that I do. So this is the build that I'll give you the item timings for. That'll be 7 to 9 minutes for Aquila 1 and Tread, 16 to 18 minutes for a Hurricane Pike, 22 to 26 minutes for S and Y, and then 28 to 32 minutes for BKB. That was the item builds for Viper. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below.